Hello, everyone. Thanks for staying to the end to come and listen to the last company talks. It's been a great conference. My name is Michelle Duquette. I'm Chief Scientist at Invetech, and I'll be talking to you today about how we can scale innovation together. As many of you know, one of the biggest bottlenecks to allowing expanded access of life-saving cell therapies to patients is this bottleneck of not being able to scale up manual processes to allow production of therapies in a cost-effective way at the commercial scale. So how do we bridge this gap? How can we make cell therapies accessible to clients, accessible to patients? So this is where Invetech comes in. Invetech is a design and engineering consulting company. We've been in the cell therapy space for 20 years now, and Invetech has also been around for over 35 years working in the area to produce solutions for diagnostics and point of care. So this timeline here shows a bit of some of the milestones and projects that we've worked on to provide solutions in the cell therapy space. Back in 2008, we had already produced a counterflow centrifugation platform for a client. And as of 2022, we have now launched it as a product. We also have produced formulation and fill platforms, as well as fill and finish platforms. And in addition, we've also worked on bespoke projects for very unique therapies. And some of these solutions include, for example, an organ 3D printer or an encapsulation manufacturing platform. So Invetech is a global company. It's based out of Melbourne. We also have a site in the US in San Diego, which is where I'm based out of. And we have manufacturing sites in Melbourne and Boxborough, Massachusetts. And as you can see, we have clients all over the world that we have worked with to provide automated manufacturing solutions. So Invetech's approach as a consultation company is a very consultative approach in that we work with clients to co-create solutions. The way we would approach this, and it doesn't matter where a client is in their automation journey. So it could be preclinical, working through process development, or the client could come to us later in the journey where they're wanting to scale up for commercial production. The approach we take is to work with the client to map out their needs, envision the future state, and then understand what it would take to be able to automate that system. The next step would be evaluating off-the-shelf or configurable solutions. And if there aren't any available solutions that we could integrate, then we would be able to produce a completely bespoke solution. This would involve expert tech deep dives with our great team of engineers that we have, and an iterative design process in developing a prototype. After that, we would produce the GMP compliant platform, and we also provide post-launch support. The goal being, of course, to make these cell therapies more accessible through automated manufacturing. We also have a fully equipped cell therapy applications lab at our San Diego site. And what this allows us to do is at that evaluation step, to be able to critically evaluate existing platforms and modules to determine what could be useful to integrate into a platform and which ones would be technically feasible to use for the client. In addition, this lab can also be used downstream in the iterative process of generating the prototype to verify that the biology translates and is still working in this automated platform, which is essential. So after doing and going through that evaluative step, we would come up with different types of solutions depending on what's already available and what's technically feasible to use. So it would range from a turnkey-ready, off-the-shelf solution, such as our counterflow centrifuge, Chorus, to modifying one of our existing formulate and fill solutions that could be configured to meet the needs of the client depending on what their process is, and something along that gradient. Now, if there's nothing available to meet the needs and it's a very unique therapy workflow, then we can also devise a completely customized solution. I'd like to give an example of how we've worked with a client to generate a completely bespoke automated manufacturing solution. And this was in collaboration with Tree Frog. Hopefully you were able to see their talk earlier in the week, which was really exciting to see how they've come along using this manufacturing platform. So they came to us and they had an R&D type setup, but they wanted to be able to scale up to enable commercial manufacturing. And the way we would work with a client like this, and what we did is we just start first with the workshop process, evaluating what their needs are and what their goals are. The next step would be generating the prototype, and as I mentioned, that's an iterative process. And then once the solution for, in this case, for encapsulating stem cells was reached, then this extended partnership would involve building this automated GMP compliance system and also supplying the single-use components that would be needed and able to run the system. And at the end, we were able to come up with a platform pictured here, which enables them to reduce manufacturing costs while improving batch size and yields. In addition to designing and engineering these automated platforms, we are also in the space of being able to design and manufacture the single-use consumables that go with the platforms. In addition, we're able to provide single-use sets or consumables for other platforms that are not made by us. In addition, we also provide the field services support. So we make sure that once a client has our platform, that they're fully supported. So to go back again and just sum up, the path to expanding access to these life-saving cell therapies is all dependent on reducing cost, and that's dependent on being able to automate the manufacturing process. The way Invetech plays a role in this ecosystem is being able to work in a collaborative way with clients to co-create these scalable manufacturing solutions. And as I mentioned, that's a whole process where we will work with clients to map out the workflows, understand the challenges, critically evaluate the existing solutions out there, and then implement bespoke solutions when required. And as mentioned, that's an iterative development process, and we can also assess how the biology is functioning on that automated solution. And then as a follow-up, we provide extended support for the platform, as well as those single-use components. So looking ahead to the future, what lies ahead? I know we keep on hearing a lot about de-risking by building in scalability early, so that's why we work with clients early in the preclinical phase. And we can work with them to also map out their journey. I know we've heard a lot about AI coming into the cell therapy realm, so we foresee AI playing a role on platforms moving forwards as well, and also having built-in process analytics on the platforms. And enabled to generate these cutting-edge platforms that are really going to enable automation of these therapies, I think we should also be re-examining how these partnerships are formed, and perhaps we have to look at more creative ways to partner in order to fund the generation or the next generation of these automated cell therapy platforms. And that's it, and I'm open to taking any questions. And if anyone's interested, this QR code will link to our cell therapy offerings on our website as well. Thank you.